Welcome back, everybody. Kevin, CrafTeeBeer, and we're going to continue our quest to try as many quality, good tasting beers as we can find. So what do we have today? A New England style IPA, 7.5% ABV from Captain Lawrence Brewing in Elmsford, New York. This New England style IPA is the Tears of Green dry hopped IPA. It says dry hopped with Vic's Secret and Citra hops. Can also says, oh, it surely looks like rain. So it's apparently raining hops. The hops are raining down. So it's a dry hopped New England style IPA. Captain Lawrence Brewing was started in 2006 by Scott Vacara. Scott claims he started home brewing at the age of 17. Apparently one of his friend's fathers home brewed and he got into it then. The Captain Brewing or Captain Lawrence Brewing name, the street that Scott grew up on was named Captain Lawrence, so he carried the name over from the street that he grew up on. Captain Lawrence, I assume, is in reference to Samuel Lawrence, who was a captain in the American Revolutionary War, I believe in the Westchester 3rd Regiment.
I started home brewing at the age of 17. Kind of just stumbled upon my friend's father making beer at his house one day and thought it was probably the coolest thing I'd ever seen. The whole process of making something from nothing. I didn't know what to call the home brew, and it was brewed on Captain Lawrence Drive, so that's where the name comes from. For the first 5 months, if you wanted to drink Captain Lawrence Brewing Company's beer, you had to either come to the brewery to buy a growler, or you could go out to one of the handful of bars that was supporting us right off the bat. I delivered that first keg of beer up to Lucy's Lounge in the back of my Jetta. Captain Lawrence Brewing was officially born.
The New England IPA style, so pale malts, pale two-row, Pilsner, fruit-forward hops, so the New World or American hops, Citra, Simcoe, Amarillo, those kind of give you the fruits, the tropical fruit, Citra fruit, stone fruit. This says dry hopped with Vic's Secret and Citra hops. I've heard a lot about this beer. It's supposed to be really good, a really well done New England style IPA. Some people use wheat and oat or high protein grains in New England styles, get some hazy, maybe a little bit of that mouthfeel, but as I said, heard all good things about this, so I'm pretty excited to try it. Captain Lawrence New England style IPA, 7.5% ABV. Let's get the Tears of Green out of the can, into a glass and try it. Really excited about this one. Have heard lots of good things about it.
I'd heard good things.
Can smell citrus fruit already. Absolutely. Yeah, orange, tangerine, hints of grapefruit. Really fruity, exactly what you'd expect. 3-4 fingers of a foamy, creamy head. It's got that pale yellow, hazy, muted grapefruit juice looking color. A little bit of head going on here, so we're not getting it all in the glass, but yeah, I would say...
Wait for it.
It's a good looking beer. All fruit. Yeah, fruit, orange, tangerine kind of fruit. And like I said, maybe a little grapefruit. Pretty simple nose, but very, very aromatic. Very inviting. Makes you want to jump in, so I'm ready to go. Let's give this a try. Cheers. Yeah, very little bitterness. It's a nice, smooth, not over the top, fruity New England style IPA. Slight hint of bitter on the back end, just so mild, which is what it should be for the style. It should be fruit forward, and it has a really smooth, pleasant fruit flavor. Smooth and light and airy. It's like, almost like you're sucking on an orange peel, and maybe a little bit of grapefruit peachiness going on, but hard to place, but not very complex. There's not a ton of flavors going on here. It's pretty simple and smooth. I think it's just well balanced. Tears of Green. Like a milky, hazy, pale yellow color. So the mouthfeel, it's not a really heavy beer. A New England style IPA should be kind of medium bodied, and that's pretty much what this is. Some underlying sweetness, that's the malt, but as the style calls for, the malt is a pale malt. It's not. There's no roasty, no toasty, no caramel. It just lends itself somehow to a little sweet canvas, and the fruit, the hops are doing their fruity job. Brewed and canned by Captain Lawrence Brewing Company, Elmsford, New York. The label says designed by Enormous Creative. So is that maybe the artist or the company that does the art? And they have their independent craft emblem, symbol, badge on the label. We succeeded in finding another good beer to taste today. I'm gonna jump over to Untapped and check it in real quick. Another one checked in, Tears of Green, Captain Lawrence Brewing Company, New York, 7.5% New England style IPA. I described it as fruit forward as expected, a hint of bitter on the finish, but very slight as the style should be. Easy and smooth with the citrus headlining. So the fruit, citrus, hops doing their thing, and everybody else playing their support role. Maybe a little bit of malt sweetness on the bottom, a little bit of the bitter hops, delivering a little bit on the back end finish. Front to back, good story. Another great beer tasting. Our quest for great tasting beers continue. So if you want to find me on Untapped, it's CrafTeeBeer. Subscribe, like, do all that crazy nonsense. And until our quest brings us to our next great tasting beer, I'm Kevin with CrafTeeBeer. Cheers.